Hello guys, this is Kabase. The summer events continue in HBR as today we might have a pretty small update, but it's relatively chunky surprisingly. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting from July 10th, we'll only have an event store recommendation period for Adele's swimsuit event, The Silhouette of Summerlight Square. So if you haven't, be sure to read the event, but also highly recommend to read the prior 31C events before this, and after reading it, take advantage of the 3 times token bonus in the event stages. Now for the freebies, we'll have 2 login bonuses, with the first one being the Summer Campaign Login Bonus 2, which is the usual 10 days for 3,000 quartz and 50 limestones in total. Then basically a week after the update is the Summer Celebration Special Gift Login Bonus, which for the first 2 days you get the usual 300 quartz and 3 bells respectively, and on the third day is another free SS Selector. Now for the gameplay side of things, we'll only have the next score attack, challenge number 45, Nether Impact. For this boss, this is our first experience with the current system that JP currently has, which is upgraded borders, higher scores, specifically 2.6 million to get everything, and yeah, ready your stats down units if you have them. My tip for this boss is completely insignificant for anyone who has completed chapter 2, as this boss is a variant of Red Crimson. But if you don't know, just know that don't attack it when its mouth is closed. But nonetheless, I hope that everyone manages to adapt to this new score attack system from now on. Now we get to the banners, and it's one new banner with one new limited, like the Unison Synonymy, SSR Memoria. And it's none other than a Dazzling Mermaid's Vacation Erika Aoi, or Swimsuit Aoi, who's a dark blunt slash crush, as Ian calls it, debuffer, who is also a buffer, kind of, because of her non-EX or common skill at 6 SP, which is a simple skill that grants a party-wide +2 morale up, which I told last video would be a perfect pair for Koju. But that's besides the point. Now, the only reason why she has this skill is because of Swimsuit Aoi's own 16 SP EX skill, which directly powers up her own EX skill through her debuffs. Now, to explain the effects, at 0 or 1 morale, in other words, the normal version of this, it gives you a 2-turn general and dark defense down through a 1-hit AoE attack. Now for the upgrades, at 2 to 3 morale, it adds a 8-turn large dark field. At 4 to 5 morale, it adds another 2-turn AoE defense down. 6-7 morale halves the SP cost to half, so 8 SP. Then 8 to 9 morale adds another 2-turn AoE dark defense down, and at 10 morale, this skill doesn't consume any of its 6 skill use. So at level 10 morale, it's basically an 8 SP skill and doesn't consume skill use, that gives the enemies 2 debuffs each of AoE general and dark defense down, a large dark field, through a 1-hit AoE attack. Through this, she cemented herself as the debuffer of any dark team, but if you think that's all she's worth, her passives say otherwise. Now, she has 3 LB0 passives. Yes, 3 of them. LB0 passive number 1 makes it that if she's at level 6 or higher morale, debuffs gain 25% potency boost. LB0 number 2, same condition, but this time it makes her dark field become permanent with a 15% potency increase. Or in other words, she got sewn up eternal. And then LB0 number 3, which is a future buff that I doubt will come in the end version on release, but anyways, I'll mention this because it's really good. This passive has no conditions needed, she just gives your party, who are Dark Memorias only, the Dark Mark. Now to explain the buff marks, essentially all elements will have it, and every effect and conditions of this mark will apply to every mark buff, with the difference being the element of the mark buff your units have. So the Dark Mark has levels, specifically 1 to 6, and each level is done based on the number of styles or memorias of that element mark has at the start of battle. And additional effects are activated based on the level. There's a full list, but I'll say it anyway. Now, level 1, Memoria increases skill damage dealt by 30%. Level 2 reduces damage taken by 10%. Level 3 increases your devastation rate by 10%. Level 4 increases your crit rate by 30%, level 5 increases your crit damage by 30%, and lastly, level 6 at turn start recovers 1 extra SP if in the front line. Now again, since Aoi has the dark buff, better have a full dark team for her to use this buff greatly. Though that's a question for the future since again I doubt we'll be getting this passive on release. And lastly, her LB3 passive adds another plus 2 morale to herself after using her non-EX skill. Now that I have explained enough, from an elemental perspective, she's simply the dark buffer slash kind of a buffer that every dark team should have. Everyone has no excuses not pulling on this banner, specifically because this banner has 100 free pulls day 1 of release. So, even at the worst case, pitting Swimsuit Aoi, you only need 15,000 quartz to do so. And yeah, she is undoubtedly safe. Though as always, if you love the character, her artwork, or want her specific abilities, feel free to ignore my advice and pull for her. Especially you, CubeSat. This update will also have another rerun banner which is also equally hard decision to make. That is the Unison featured recruitment for Unison Bungo. While Swimsuit Aoi is an essential debuffer for Dark Team, Bungo is the essential DPS for Pencrit teams as she makes your Pencrit teams handle most content and raises the Pencrit ceiling higher. Though before pulling, be sure to think of getting Bungo with the idea of you must get the other 31C Mao members, minus Adele plus Eunice and Karen, to have the best use of Bungo's abilities. But always remember that Pancret teams are the higher floor, lower ceiling compared to the other element teams, and yeah. The last banners I have to mention are the paid course exclusive A Dazzling Mermaid's Vacation featured step of recruitment, the paid course exclusive Summer Campaign Unison SS Guaranteed 3-step recruitment, and lastly is the Summer Selection 3-step recruitment. But as always, all 3 are skips, and yeah, that's the end of the video, I guess. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Share it with a friend and watch this video next time there. So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye!